Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Real Madrid versus Atalanta match report. 3 weeks ago, Real Madrid defeated Atalanta at the Gaudi Stadium with a 1-0 score. What went down between these two tonight at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano, and who was able to advance to the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals? Let's take a look. In the 33rd minute of the match, Atalanta goalkeeper Sportiello wanted to make a pass to Martin Deroon, but Luka Modric managed to gain the ball instead, made his way toward the goal, made a pass to Benzema, who scored Real Madrid's first goal within the match. In the beginning of the first half, Atalanta had great offensive pressure, had their spread within the midfield, allow them to make their way near Real Madrid's penalty area, where they were not able to score due to Real Madrid's good defensive protection and goalkeeper Courtois' protection. Slowly, though, Real Madrid managed to have more control over the ball and put an offense of its own at the hands of Benzema and Vinicius Jr., but could not score due to Atalanta's good defensive protection and Vinicius Jr. failing to finish off these goals off with, the final touch. It's not to say Atalanta stopped putting offense of its own. It did. Their attempts, however, were few compared to Real Madrid's and not that close to Real Madrid's goal. Overall, the rest of the match continued with both displaying consistency in offense and defense, where both their spread within the midfield managed to form their offense. It is worth mentioning, though, that to an extent, both teams within the midfield would display defensive pressure to regain the ball by any means, and through rebounds, of course, to form an offense to make it to the opposing team's penalty area. Thus, both teams were on par for the most part in the first half, had it not been for that one mistake on Sportiello's end that resulted in Real Madrid's goal. The first half ended with a 1-0 lead for Real Madrid. In the 57th minute of the match, during the second half, Vinicius Jr. managed to gain the ball and charge toward Atalanta's penalty area, but as he was entering the penalty area, he got knocked down by Rafael Toluli, giving Real Madrid a penalty shot that Ramos took to score Real Madrid's second goal within the match. It is worth mentioning that before this attempt at the hands of Vinicius Jr., that a few minutes before, Vinicius Jr. himself managed to gain the ball, made his way in an impressive manner past all four Atalanta defenders, but failed to make the final finish. In the 82nd minute of the match, Luis Fernando Muriel Fruto took a free kick for the sake of Atalanta and scored Atalanta's first goal within the match, despite Real Madrid's Courtois jumping as high as he could to touch the ball but failing to deflect it. 2 minutes later, though, Lucas Vazquez managed to receive the ball, charged with the ball into Atalanta's penalty area, made a pass to Asensio, who scored Real Madrid's third goal within the match. For the most part, both teams left open spaces for each other to make it to each other's penalty areas, which allowed Vinicius Jr. to make it twice cleanly. Well, not that cleanly if it weren't for him being knocked down into Atalanta's penalty area, in addition to Benzema, of course, during one instance where he nearly scored a goal with two headshots, where one got deflected by goalkeeper Sportiello and the other bounced off of the goalpost. So as you all can see, Real Madrid continuously made it into Atalanta's penalty area and put in continuous offense, but to no avail. After the substitution of Ramos, Atalanta managed to make its way more into Real Madrid's penalty area, but could not score due to Real Madrid's defense and especially goalkeeper Courtois' incredible saves. The match ended with a 3-1 victory for Real Madrid over Atalanta, resulting in a total of 4-1 aggregate score for Real Madrid's advantage, causing Real Madrid to advance to the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. In a post-match interview with Luka Modric, he said that they played a great match, Real Madrid that is, and that they did everything according to the coach's directions. He also said that he watches the Serie A league and that he knew the fact of Atalanta playing and scoring better outside of its field. Thus, he knew that they were a force to be reckoned with. He concluded by saying that he will continue to play with this great team of Real Madrid until he is unable to give his best, and said that when one reaches a point that they cannot give their best, that they should leave Real Madrid. This, of course, was when he was asked about being 35 years old and how long he will continue with Real Madrid. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've liked this video, please drop a like and subscribe. Share the video around with the hashtag SkeltonForce. As you all know, I've been Skelton Sports. And as always, I will see you all in the next report.